Hello, everyone. Ikea Chanel here with Fashion Talk TV. And I am so excited to see you all come back and join me for another episode of Fashion Talks. My name is Ikea Chanel, and I am your host. And these shows are not just about fashion, but it's also about life, politics, relationships, and more. But we're going to talk about how fashion plays a part of your everyday lifestyle. Last week, we spoke about the pants on the ground era, where young adults are finding it very cool and trending to walk around with their pants hanging down. Today, we're going to talk about African culture. Is it culture that we're wearing, or are we trying to wear a trend? Stay tuned.
There's one thing in life that will never change: power. The power to be who you are, unapologetic, beautiful, strong, even when they don't know you, and they know you. Who are you? Kashella Karor.
All right, you guys, we are back from that short break, and I really do hope that you are enjoying our brief advertising. Now, we're going to just jump right into things because I am super excited to talk to you guys today about African wear, the culture, and where certain things stem from. Today, I found myself wanting to talk about what is trending. And guess what, you guys? It's us. It's everything about us. And I just love that I can go out now and I can find myself on movies. I can see myself on commercials, and now I can walk into as much as Walmart or Target and even buy garments accustomed to my culture. How exciting is that, you guys? So over the weekend, I went into a store and they sell all types of beads and waist beads, head pieces, rings, just jewelry from all over Africa. And I was very impressed to hear about waist beads and where that trend even started. But then calling it a trend, I said to myself, wait, is it a trend, or is this a part of my culture that I need to learn? And I believe it's a little bit of both, you know? So I've learned a bit about waist beads, and waist beads did start in the African culture. Each bead has a specific meaning. They're aligned with each other, color coordinated to help you know what tribe belongs to who. Now we kind of use weight beads as a way of life and a lifestyle to even show us, how our bodies are changing. Did we gain a little bit of weight? Did we lose little bit of weight? And our waist beads are able to determine just that for us. So I think it is really cool for you guys to go out to your local stores and see if you can find waist beads that match the colors from your culture. See if you can use it in a trending way to help others pick up on, the realization that these beads are special and we need to put them to special work. So with that said, you guys, I know you've noticed my headpiece, right? It is a beautiful headpiece. And this headpiece and color scheme you can find in all different cultures and walks of life in Africa. We also today, I'm going to show you a little bit of the most popular fabric. This fabric, I'm sure you've seen it. You can find this in Ghana as well as Nigeria. It is actually one of the main traditional prints that they use in Ghana, I believe they also use this in Jamaica. There are different walks of life that use this particular fabric as a way to show what culture they are from. And the way that they do this, you guys, is using it as a headpiece. So similar to this is one that's smaller version. And what you would do is actually take these and you tie them like so. And you can either leave it like that, or you have some people who take it and they turn it into a bow. So it's so many different ways that you can wear a piece like this, you know. And if you find this fabric in a bigger size, like say something that would actually fill up my whole table here, once you tie it to your head, you can actually come up with a look like the one I have here. Now, this is designed to stick up this way. It's actually designed to put all of your hair into the top. Today, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to leave some of my beads hanging down because just like the waist beads, beading on your braids also speaks to what culture or what tribe you may be in. So today, I'm letting my beads hang. But this headpiece does speak to a different tribe. So today we're going to talk about those tribes and why they wear certain colors. But as we know, you guys, here in America and countries worldwide, we have been hit with a pandemic. So how amazing was it to see that starting in Africa, they began to make headpieces with matching masks. So I just want to show you guys this today. Look at that. What amazing way to be trending and fashionable within your culture all at the same time. So look, you guys, I am sleek, sexy, and safe. You can't get no better than that, you know? So I think that it is amazing that cultures, especially in Africa, have come up with different ways to show how they wear their style. Also, you guys, another reason for wearing these head wraps, it was not just because they did not have their hair done. I know here in America we find a very trending way to take our head wraps and we wrap our heads because our hair is actually not done. Well, in Africa, the head wraps came about for different reasons. Some were seen more so as a crown for royalty, because in case you didn't know, in Africa, before slavery, we were considered kings and queens, and we ran tribes. And because we had to be the king or the queen of a tribe, we had to stick out, right? Everyone needed to know who their leader was. So the higher the crown, the more popular the leader. So what better way to show that than to get the beautiful fabrics of the multicolors and build them on top of our heads like crowns. Now, once slavery came about, unfortunately, colonizers wanted to make sure we forgot who we were. They did not want us to know what tribe we came from, what language we originally spoke, or even what religion we believed in. So a lot of things about us was changed during that time of induction to slavery. So they shaved our heads. We were shaved bald so that we could not tell one tribe from another. And that did put together a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion, you guys. So, just like now, even our ancestors then, you will not hold them down. They found a way to still identify themselves. And that identification came through colors, it came through beading, it came through head wraps and crowns. So, I want you guys to always remember that while it is becoming trending to grab our ancestors' culture and use their techniques as a way of style, do not be afraid to dig a little deeper and find out why that certain tradition in your family is now your style. I'm going to share with you guys that I am just learning a lot about where I'm from, because I didn't grow up with a family who wanted to, let me rephrase that. I did not grow up with a family that was able to give me a lot of the information that would have helped me know who I was and where I came from. So, you guys, I'm going to share that in my, say, ancestry, the DNA tests and things like that, I found out that I am part Nigerian and part Haitian. And to me, you guys, that's very important to know because they are two totally different walks. And a lot of things that would be practiced in Haiti wouldn't be practiced in Nigeria. But there is one thing that is like mind and sound mind in both, is that the culture is rich with love. It is rich with all types of foods, herbs, traditions, music, and style. I would like to think that we were one of the first group of people who discovered what style was. Because if you ask me, I mean, if everyone wears a certain designer and that certain designer is only known for a certain color, right? That's an American style. So in Africa, before anyone said anything about beauty, we had our own style. Everyone in the tribe wore a certain color. You guys, that's called a trend. So just like open heart surgery, we were the first to do it. We were the first to do style. So don't be afraid to tap into your culture. Get a DNA test. It wouldn't hurt anything. And you'll get a little closer to who you are and what type of colors speak to your trends, the trends in your culture. Have you ever wondered, is there a difference between how Ethiopians dress and how people in Ghana dress? Is there a difference between the way people in Haiti dress or the people in the Dominican Republic dress? I mean, we all have such a rich culture behind us, and we should start embarking on those cultures. So, once I found out a little more about me, I went out and I searched the garments, and let's just say, I put on my headpiece, and honey, this thing took me closer and closer to God and reach, and it made me feel so connected to my family that I couldn't do anything other than rock my style. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Africa and the trending ways that we have picked up here in America. Stay tuned.
Badass us. Yeah, that's right. That's who we are. Badass us. What? Who are we? We are women. Beautiful, accomplished, and divine. That's right. Badass us. Yeah. Who are we? We are gentlemen. Are our brothers accomplished and determined? Yet, as society see us, we must still change the narrative. Yeah, that's right. Who are we? The black community. Remember us? We are accomplished. We are determined. We are divine. We are of greatness. That's right. The black community. Badass us. Who are we? That's right. Who am I? I am the person committed to building the next community movement. What about you?
All right, you guys, we're back. How did you enjoy the last commercial? I know I did. So, you guys, we are back talking about African wear, it being part of our culture, or are we using it as a trend? As you know, before I said that I believe it's a little bit of both because Africa had style and trend way before slavery, way before any major changes. We were already out there rocking our stones, rocking our beads. I mean, we were charging crystals in the moon. I know you guys hear that saying all the time, right? So if you don't know what it means, look it up. Get into your African culture. If that's where you're from and you don't know anything about it, ask someone, hey, what is a dashiki? What is a kara dress? What is the difference? What do men wear? What do the women wear? Well, we touched a little bit today about how we started out, kings and queens, which we still are. Keep that in mind. We are just ancestors. We have ancestors that are kings and queens. We are descendants from that. So keep that in mind when you're looking at things like my headpiece. Because like I said before, certain headpieces and crowns were used to simulate the royalty in which we still are. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about royalty and the colors in Africa. Purple and gold. Have you guys seen that? Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. Purple and gold is normally the traditional colors that most people have at their weddings and things like that because it does speak to royalty. Something else a lot of people didn't know about Africa, and in a lot of other countries for that matter, is that in Africa, the crochet technique was set aside for people that were royalty. So if you look back, you'll see our kings and our queens sitting on their throne with crochet dresses. Do you know what crochet is? It's when you have a little yarn and you take a needle, it tells a lot of counting numbers, but you take those numbers and it forms into a pattern, and that pattern is then adjusted and formed into an actual garment. So, purple and gold crochet wedding dress, who's down for that? I know I can get someone to make it. Who would wear it? I know I would. So, you guys, I want to take the time to say that I am very enthused about learning more about Kenya and Ghana. And I found out that this is one of the main prints that they do use in Ghana. This print here is used in Nigeria a lot. White with gold is used in Ethiopia a lot. And honestly, I stayed so intrigued by how even something as simple as tie-dye, we use tie-dye here and put it on t-shirts, never even knowing that in certain parts of Africa, tie-dye was the main way that they identified themselves from one tribe to another. Did we come up with anything ourselves? Because I don't know if we did. We have created so many wonderful things that have just trickled down from Africa down into so many other cultures, and I just want to embrace them all. So I have a dress, you guys, that looks a little bit like this one. I was going to show it to you guys today on my phone, but we don't have enough room to do that. But I have a dress, you guys, that is shaped just like these patterns. And here in America, we would call it a bodycon dress because it hugs the body all the way down and then it kind of flares out at the knees. Well, that look too is something very popular in Africa, in all parts of Africa. Then we had the dashiki, and the dashiki is not so form-fitted. It's kind of wide, and it shows a lot of different colors right down the front lapel area. And I think that is one of the most attractive things possible. I also thought that the women only wore all of the different colors, which is not true. So have you guys seen that men are now wearing these suits that have a lot of different prints and things like that? When it first started, I used to hear a lot of men say, oh, it's tacky, it's too many colors. Who wants to wear that? It looks like a garden. Well, it was trending for a reason, you guys, and it is because in Africa, the women are not the only ones wearing the multicolored fabrics. It looks amazing on the men as well. So I want to encourage you guys, just find a print. Just find a print. My studio audience is kind of like, no, that really looks like a garden. Well, okay, you don't like gardens, but maybe you like stripes, maybe you like squares, maybe you like triangles. And I saw this print as a man's suit from top to bottom, and you would think that's a lot, but it looks so good. Connected to her, standing right beside her, oh my goodness, it looks so good. But there are some traditional garments. There are not a lot of color schemes going on. You will see, like I said before, the purple and gold. You will see all black with a little bit of gray. You will see red with a little bit of white. And like I said, in Ethiopia, they wear a lot of white with gold trimming. So it's not that you have to wear all of those colors. I just think the colors are cool. And I found it amazing of anyone being that confident about themselves that they can walk around with a garment from top to bottom with this type of print. With that being said, you guys, I don't know about you, but even before I found out where my family was from and what my culture is, I never felt connected to anything. And that's the main reason I want to do this show today. So I'm going to break off from the fashion a little bit and talk to you guys about how that fashion in Africa connects to us here. Growing up, I had no idea where my dad was from. I had no idea what culture my family was. So I'm going to say I was bored. I was bored growing up. Everything was the same food, same clothes, same everything. Nothing special, nothing spectacular about it. And over time, I just became bored. So when I realized where I was from, like I said before, I started to grab a little bit more of that tradition. And the point of me telling you guys this is I felt powerful. The first day I wore my African headpiece, I think one of my ancestors dropped down into my body or something, you guys, because I was walking around like the queen of Waldorf, Maryland. You hear me? I was in my hair salon, you guys, with my braids stuck all the way up to the top of this thing. It was all the way up in the air. I felt so connected. I felt powerful. I felt strong. Then I felt like I was tripping. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I did. Then I felt like I was tripping because I said, there's no way in the world what I just put on is just flipping me like that. Until I looked at my 5-year-old. I put my 5-year-old in a dress that was made with the colors from our culture. And she's 5, you guys. She doesn't know anything about it as of yet because I will be teaching her. But this same little girl who takes no breaks, no naps, no nothing, okay? She acts like the Terrible Twos, okay? Love her to death, but she acts like the Terrible Twos. But I'm going to tell you guys something. I put her dress on her, and I wrapped her hair, and it was really high, and she had the big bow. Man, do you know my baby sat still? She was yes ma'am, no ma'am. She was listening. She was being strong. And I had to ask myself, is it in our DNA that certain colors and certain things that we wear, does it just naturally make us feel powerful? Because we are. So what brings it out? I think connection. And once I connected myself to who my dad is and who my mom is, and I mean, there's nothing more powerful than education. So you guys, don't rely on the movies. Don't rely on social media. Get out here and find out what your blood is connected to. Embrace it. And if you're a designer, grab those fabrics and start creating because we need to know. I realized, that we also wore fringes and things for a reason. And those fringes were to identify who we were. So like in the Bible, it says Israelites were known for wearing fringing. So I went back into Africa and I thought to myself, hey, are they wearing fringes in Africa too? And how does that connect to the Bible? So maybe for part 2 of this show, we'll talk about Africa, the Bible, and how certain things connect and intertwine with each other. So you guys, what better way to show our style other than the runway? So have you guys watched the fashion shows that are full of African wear? Do you think it's getting saturated? Or is it that we're just that great? I think we're just that great. And I feel like we need to saturate the runway. I said it. We're going to make it a tag. We're going to put it on the back of our bumper. Saturate the runway with anything African, because we all need to know more about our culture, what it entails, and the wonderful people behind the creations. And in speaking on that, I did a little bit of research earlier today, and I kind of lost the power on my phone, so I can't reference his name, but there's a wonderful artist in Kenya that went back to the shorelines where the slave trade was, and he created clay people coming out of the ground and out of the water. Man, oh, do y'all see that? Goosebumps. I have goosebumps still just thinking about it. That is amazing. So I do want to encourage you that while this is Fashion Talks, there's so many different ways that you can embrace your culture outside of fashion. Because I do realize that everyone is not they're just not fashionistas like myself. But if you can paint, you can clay, you can make hats, anything you can do, do it. Don't be afraid. I can bet you that he was afraid to go out there and create those clay images in the ground, because we're getting really serious these days, with politics and land and the ins and outs, this pandemic, all of that. And that man was not afraid to get out there and show what our ancestors went through reenactment and clay sculptures. So I would like to see us take fashion and reenact the culture of our ancestors between dance, music, fashion, and food. We are such a rich culture that we have to get out here and we have to show the world what we're capable of. And I know you guys remember me saying I have a hair salon, right? I'm going to plug it really quick. Runway Studio Salon in Waldorf, Maryland. You can find me at 11668 Billingsley Road, Waldorf, Maryland, at Runway Studio Salon. And the reason I'm bringing my salon in, you guys, is because something that you do know is that we have trending hairstyles as well, right? We have a lot of different cultures that snatch those traditional hairstyles and turn it into their own, and we have to gain it back. We have to grasp back what we know. The two-strand twist, the Bantu knot. The two-strand twist is being called two-strand twist. It's not what they called it in Africa, but yet and still, one of those clay ancestors definitely had twists in their hair. They definitely had Bantu knots in their hair. We now call Bantu knots heatless curls. Heatless curls. No, it's a traditional hairstyle that spoke to a certain tribe. And on part 2, we will speak about which tribes wore which hairstyles. Dreadlocks, you guys. Our hair is what created and started dreadlocks. And when I go into the Bible, you guys excuse me, but my opinion is that Jesus must have been from Africa because Jesus had dreadlocks. We are the only hair that can lock that way. And I think it is amazing to read and know that someone of such a high power was of my own culture. So you guys, don't be afraid. Let's start some new African trends. Can we embark on what our ancestors created and keep on going? Let's find out in our next episode, part 2 of Fashion Talks TV. We will go into how we can start our own traditional trends. Now, don't forget, you can find us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all of them. Even if it's not live stream, you will still find us there. So don't be afraid to tune in to Vision and Purpose Media Productions on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and more. And you guys, I love seeing you, and I know you love seeing me. So let's continue to do this every week, 7 o'clock. We will be airing live Fashion Talks TV with your host, Ikea Chanel. And don't forget, if you have a topic that you want to touch on, that you feel is important, hit me on the contact form at www.fashiontalkstv.com. See you guys in a bit. Stay tuned.